Tax the rich, not the poor.
What's happening across CUNY is reprehensible. Cutting budgets by cutting some of the lowest paid workers is not the right way to go. And of course, BCC has gone beyond what other campuses have done. And besides cutting adjuncts, they've cut people who have been at BCC for a long time, people who should be getting their 3-year appointments and have not. And that's a violation of the contract and of the agreement that postponed the deadline, and of a memo that was sent out by CUNY Central back in February. So BCC is in the wrong on this, and we're going to get them to change it. And that's what today is about.
Our professors deserve better. Yes. The 36 adjuncts who've been fired from this community college are our most experienced adjuncts. Who does that? Who targets the most experienced persons and professors for layoff? Who does that? It's a shame. And we're standing against austerity at BCC, and we're standing against austerity at CUNY. Right. No! We say no! Standing up and demonstrating is not something I do often, but I'm doing it today, and I will keep doing it until CUNY does the right thing.
That's right.
Do the right thing.
That's right.
Do the right thing.
They say cut back. We say fight back. They say cut back. We say fight back. CUNY says cut back. We say fight back.
I don't know where to begin. I think everyone has mentioned all the main points. So I'm going to take this at a personal level. I landed in the US in 1994. I took my GED and I attended Bronx Community College. When I graduated, I worked in the Writing Center. Phyllis Reed was in the department at that time. And once I got my bachelor's degree, I was offered an adjunct teaching position for a Saturday class. I never left BCC since I came to this country. So this is affecting me at a personal level, like to the extreme. It is my home in the United States of America. It has been my home. Now, coming to my performance, it galls me that with my outstanding records of 25 years as a tutor and an adjunct for 22, that no one who made this decision had the human capacity to know us personally, to see what they're doing. That's the best I can express that. BCC is not a job for me. Maybe it started that way, but it's a gateway. It's a gateway for students. As a student, it was a gateway for me. And as an adult, I was 17 years old when I attended classes at BCC. I became an adult at BCC. As an adult, it has been a gateway for me to give back to community. I don't teach students. I mentor them. I'm a human being with them. I save them. They save me. They give me a purpose for being a good human being. And that's how I see it. So I know it might sound ridiculous for someone to be so attached to a job, but this is not a job. This is my life. This is who I am. It is the only place that I'm 100% present, no matter what I'm going through. I am 100% present at Bronx Community College. So this is beyond a slap in the face. This was, okay, I have been an adjunct. Nothing is secure about that. The union have fought to give us that 3-year contract security. I never thought that I would be in this position, and it wasn't because I took things for granted. And it is really hurtful to know this is the way that I have to leave if I do have to leave. So again, I want to thank everybody for your support. I want to express my deepest condolences and sympathy and empathy and everything for the adjuncts in my position. So with that being said, I can't express the amount of gratitude I have for everyone here. And I want to thank my students who are also present. You might think I have done a lot for you, but you save my life every day just by allowing me to serve you. Thank you.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Austerity has got to go.
So I want to thank Sharon and Yasmin, first of all, for their immediate support of all the adjuncts who were put in this position. Many of you may know that our department, the English department, was, I believe, the hardest hit. We had 19 faculty members who were denied either renewal or I believe 3 became eligible for the first time for a 3-year contract and were denied after a unanimously positive vote for every single one of those faculty by the department personnel and budget committee. So this has been, just to give you a little insight into my own experience, this has been both a shocking time as somebody who is running a department, but also on a personal level, because these are faculty members, many of whom precede me. I've been at BCC for 13 years, but many of these faculty members, and some of them are here today, Bibi, George Timko, have been at BCC for many, many years, some of them many more years than I have been at BCC. So I've learned from them. They're full parts of our community. And it's always seemed to me that the 3-year contract is little enough. These are faculty members who deserve to be fully employed by our college. The word that has kept coming to me during this entire fight is dedication. I am not going to out this faculty member, but one of the people among the 19 faculty members who are, again, being put in this terrible position did get diagnosed with coronavirus during the semester and kept teaching despite this diagnosis. You know, that's the kind of person that so many of these faculty members are. And that speaks to the level of dedication that they have to our college and most of all to our students. And, you know, what I have said to the administration and what I strongly feel is that we owe them the same level of dedication that they show us, the faculty community, but again, most of all, the students.
Lay off Smead! Lay off Smead! Lay off Smead! Lay off Smead!
I haven't been here at BCC as long as you have, but I know that the BCC community touched my heart. You know, I came out, you know, I travel a long distance to get there. You know, I come from Staten Island. I could have gone to a closer CUNY university, and I did try, but then I realized that I miss the population. I miss my students. I miss the people I encountered. I miss the way that I touched their lives, the way they touched my life. I miss the way that, as you said, Bibi, so eloquently, that I was allowed to be a human being, to share my human story. And, you know, with them, and to make those connections and to know that the students value that and that it meant something to them and to believe in them. I miss that, having that kind of connection, saying that I see where you can be. And I was willing to travel over 2 hours to get to BCC in order to deliver that message, to have that exchange, to have that, you know, that made it feel worthwhile. When I got that letter that said pretty much, thank you for your service and good luck to you, and don't let the door hit you on the way out, it was a sucker punch. It was as if you were being discarded. And it made me question the sacrifices. It made me question, okay, I've been getting on a train and a bus and a boat and walking up, you know, the hill to get here. And this is how they can treat someone. And to, like, you know, to not take into consideration the sacrifices that we make, what it means to us to have the connections that we have with our students, and that the value we give to, certainly it's not for the money, for the fact that we get to make the connection, that we get to influence someone's life in a way that we know is, you can't be measured. That just the discarding of a human being, of your experience, of your sacrifice, and really what it says then about the students. And I thank the department, my department, English department, you guys have been so supportive on our behalf. And yeah, and at the end, it does reflect on how the administration feels about its students, that they really hold them at the lowest level in all these negotiations. If they can just take the people away that are committed to making the connection. Because if you're an adjunct, you're committed to more. It's not a financial commitment. It just really isn't. It is a commitment to students. It is a commitment to touching people's lives and making a difference. And it is a reciprocal commitment, right? Because it keeps you getting up and make you feel like you're doing something that's worthwhile and important. And it goes beyond just, if what we get financially, but then to just take that away and make as if that is the thing that you can take away at a moment's notice and make this is all it is that's the real insult to me. That is the insult, because what we do, they don't pay us for. And yet to take away and threaten us with not having health insurance, and because really that's the only thing that's important, right? Not to have our health insurance, to just take away this and reduce us to that level, that is unforgivable. And I don't know, I hope we come back. I'm praying to come back, but that is unforgivable. And it's a working relationship I'd like to see changed. I don't want a president or an administration that can just summarily decide when to get rid of us, what our value is, what our importance is. And it has to be a different working relationship. So that's all I want to say. To my fellow adjuncts, we need to be strong. We need to fight back. And we need to say, no, we are human beings and we want to be recognized and respected for the work that we do on this campus, this amazing campus that I know I will continue to travel for, continue to sacrifice for, because I believe in the students. I really do. And the colleagues that I've made along the way. Thank you.
Hi, and hi, everyone. So my name is Jasmina, and I am, or I used to be, or maybe I will be, an adjunct professor at the BCC. I'm also at CCNY, which I did get reappointed for my one class there. But the Bronx Community College, after 14 years of working there, sent me a letter. They actually sent me a brief note letting me know I am no longer needed. Now, I do want to say the irony of that is that I spend more time explaining to a water bug in my house why they can't live in my apartment anymore and why they need to go than CUNY spent on composing a letter that basically just said, great, you've been here and now we don't need you. So it was extremely disappointed to get this letter, not just because it affected me. I lost my health insurance, I lost my livelihood, but it's also because it just felt so deeply disrespectful compared to how much time and energy and effort I have put into working at BCC. Bronx has been my academic home for 14 years. I have created connections there. I have made friends, and I'm proud of my students, and I hear often from them how they're doing now. This spring, like all of us, I worked extra times, and I was available to my students to talk, not just about the class I'm teaching. They talked to me about the relatives, the parents, the people they lost. I listened to my students who were sick themselves. Like, I was there for them to hear and to actually to take their pain and try to ease it and try to hear what they have to say, right? Because the union asked CUNY to have the decency to tell us if we're teaching or not by June 30th, they are now pretending like the reason we're fired is because of the union. They're expecting adjuncts to be preparing for fall classes without actually making commitment to us that we will have those classes. So now I'm in a position where I might or might not. I will probably maybe have a class in the fall. I have no idea what this means. So I'm supposed to basically work without getting paid for it and hope that that work that I'm putting in will pay off at some point. I'm here to tell you that it is time to say enough. it's enough already to all this CUNY nonsense, all this exploitation that has been going on for how many years, how many decades. I think every year we keep hoping CUNY will do better, and they just keep not.
I'm Sue Moss. I've been at CUNY for 25 years at BCC and at other CUNYs. I've been a department chair, a campus grievance counselor, a full-time faculty member, and a club advisor for a college-wide organization. I appreciate everybody who's here, and my heart goes out to these adjuncts, as well as the other people at CUNY who have been laid off, because the adjuncts are not the only people. And I really want to express my feelings about what an attack this is on our students and on the city of New York. So these adjuncts are precious in so many ways. They're precious in who they are as people, as they just so much showed you. And they are precious as educators and servers of our students. These adjuncts are unique. It's not easy to get a 3-year appointment. Many of them teach things that we cannot replace. We have a hiring freeze in CUNY. We have specially figured out who can teach, and that's why we give people 3-year reappointments. And when you take that away and you raise the sizes in all the classes and you force us to consolidate what we're offering, you make it harder for the degree programs that our students depend on to move forward and to be viable. There are students who may go back and find that courses that they need for their majors and their degree completions were cut. And that the teachers, the full-time faculty that are there are going to be stretched to the breaking point because there'll be so many students in classes. And we know that students need a great deal of support right now. Everyone needs a great deal of support right now. CUNY is also cutting custodial staff, which are the people that we need to make us safe. CUNY is not showing a commitment to the forward-moving lives of their students or their faculty or the safety of any of us. An attack on CUNY is an attack on the city of New York. CUNY is supposed to be the engine of upward mobility and equality and opportunity in the city of New York. New York needs CUNY, and we cannot let what is happening continue. And I thank everybody for being here and urge everybody to get involved in the fight however they can.
Money for education! Money for education!
I am Jeanette Batiste, and like Sharon said, I am from the biology department. I work in the area of MLT and microbiology. And there has been many adjunct CLT layoffs. And the concern was, like everybody else, the health benefit that they don't have. Some of them in their family, it was the only health benefit they have had for their family and children. And this layoff is cruel, very cruel. The cruelty in our city against education, against our brown and Black people. We're human beings. They're human beings. I've been in BCC since 1980, and I've never seen this treatment like this year. In the middle of the coronavirus, in the middle of uncertainty, in the middle of so much death in our city, so much members of what lost in our CUNY across campus as well, and their families as well. My heart is truly, truly broken. The disappointment and the hurt. And I'm there with each one of you, right there with you. And if I speak anymore, I think there will be too many tears coming from my face. We are fighting. Don't give up hope. Or I could say, we'll have victory, uniting together, fighting together, being supportive for one another, regardless the titles and the job descriptions that we have. We're in one union. And that's all I wanted to say, Sharon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tax the rich, not the poor. Tax the rich, not the poor.
It's time for justice for the adjunct 36. And let's take that love and solidarity, put into action. Remember this, it's not just about one college or even the whole CUNY system. It's a whole system that would rather bail out big business with big bank loans, while we're still wondering, hey, are we going to see another paycheck? Are we going to see our health insurance cut? If we have to sit here fretting about that in the middle of coronavirus, when the next price is going to hit? Hey, even before coronavirus, what do people say? We're just one big hospital bill away from homelessness, or even worse. Now we're looking at untimely death too. So we have to fight against this constantly. Justice for the adjunct 36 that have lost their jobs, lost their gigs. I mean, and this is a gig economy, let's face it. Let's have some justice. There are a lot of ways you can help out in supporting this campaign to help them. And remember, we all have to fight together in this, because remember, we're fighting not just against the Bronx Community College, not against just the CUNY Central for coming with these outrageous decisions to throw away a lot of people. When students need these classes, I mean, what's going to happen? We're going to teach 50 in a Zoom meeting? We shouldn't have it that way. We should never have it that way. And we all need to be compensated fairly and honor those 3 years contracts. Those 3-year contracts should be enforced, and make sure we fight to have them enforced, and keep fighting for that health insurance. We shouldn't have to fight for insurance. That should be for everybody. But while we still got to fight for it, we got to put our foot in there and do something about it. Thank you.
Put your fists up. Fists up, fight back. Fists up. Fists up. Fists up. Fists up. They say cut back. They say cut back. CUNY says cut back. CUNY says cut back. They say cut back. They say cut back. Fight back. Fight back. Fight back. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.